Welcome back to Los Santos, yet another DLC in this lovely time loop that we seem to be stuck in considering we're still here. Now, drip feed cars will come out when they do, so videos will come out when they do, but let's take a quick look forward at what chaos we can cause with what vehicles we have right now. I have been waiting for 5 years to do this. So we start off with Overflod, the crazy Swedes. They have invited me out to this random deserted freeway because they have a new car to show me. And it's supposed to be a bit mental. It's still in the Entity family, but as you can see, it does not look like the previous Entity XXR. This new one is supposed to be a bit insane, and just based off my initial look at it here for the first time, yeah, it's got some unique design features. This is the Entity MT, and, well, there's no other way to test it than firing it up. Alright, let's see what this HSW option vehicle can do. Oh my god, how is that? That just, I can't speak. That's just the fastest speedo I've ever seen in my life. It just is gone. Holy crap. I should probably emphasize, this vehicle here in particular has over 1,000 horsepower in a 3,100 pound vehicle. That's rear-wheel drive. That's an insane combination. That is just stupid. That's probably one of the best power ratios I've ever driven. And it's so controllable at speed. It's not difficult to drive. I'm already at the end of the freeway, for God's sake. Oh, that's alarming. People are gonna die driving that, not because it's difficult to drive, but because they aren't expecting the sheer speed of the thing, and they're just gonna make a mistake. That's enormous VMAX. Holy cow. Now you get that because it costs over $3 million for this particular one, but you do get a lot of bang for your buck, especially in the aerodynamic department, because in order to reach speed you can't just have horsepower. That helps. They also need a very low drag coefficient, and this has all the usual streamline that you would expect for a high-end hypercar. But the MT takes it a step further because in order to get maximum stability at high speed and to reduce the drag as much as possible, as you can see, the MT has no wing. Instead, it is replaced with these sort of Formula-style or LMP-style rear fins that are designed to channel the air so that the faster you go, it keeps it in a straight line, sort of like an arrow flying through the air. It's a bit mental, but that also means it's very specialized, as I shall now demonstrate. Okay, it's a rocket ship in a straight line, but at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, let's see if it's compromise in the corners, because obviously you need downforce in the corners. Handling is obviously partially chassis and suspension and tires whole 9 yards, but aero is a really big, Brakes are also a big thing, but they aren't very big in this car, apparently. They're not good. I just completely missed the apex and ran wide. Okay, apart from the brakes, let's see if the actual aerodynamics are capable of handling high-speed corners. That chicane wasn't too bad. We're going to be heading into a braking zone now, no rear wing to help us, and, yep, whoa. Missed that apex, too. Okay, brakes are an issue. It's not the best thing, stopping-wise, which makes sense. I guess this is the HSW one, so they don't have the same crazy brakes. One thing I'm noticing is oversteer. Not this type of oversteer, that's just intentional. I can do that any day of the week. It's 1,000 horsepower to the rear wheels. I'm talking lift-off oversteer. It feels a little, when I lift off the gas, whoa, heading into a corner, it just wants to step the back end out. So you either have to be really careful with your throttle, or you just have to embrace it and try to have a little fun, and even that's a little difficult. You can see it sort of twitching about. It's not the most stable thing when you're sliding it around, but the thing is, it's also not as stable in the corners, so I go in there and, yep, I'm trying to counter the liftoff oversteer by powering through the corner, so I brake early and then power through the apex, and that works, but it's very finicky. You saw there, heading onto the turn 2 exit. It was a little bit wide because I just got it slightly wrong. Oh, this is a tricky vehicle to drive. It's doable, and I should say the traction is excellent. I have not had a problem with traction at all, and this is kind of amazing, given, you know, how much power is going to the rear wheels only. But that just means I have this false sense of confidence, and that's not really what I want. But luckily, Overflod has a solution. You just get the other variant. As you can see, this one is slightly different. Not only is it missing its roof, which is an option on this one, but you can also get a wing. And hopefully, that'll fix all of my problems that I had with the top speed-orientated one. And personally, from my perspective, the handling-focused one actually looks better, because it can be open top. It looks great as a, I don't know, speedster, convertible. It's not really a convertible, but open top roadster. And of course that wing really completes the rear look. Whoa! Oh yeah, I guess I had to stop talking about the visuals because it still doesn't like the curbs. It likes to go on two wheels a little bit. I forgot to mention that, and it's not a big fan of the curbs. You saw me try to avoid them a little bit there, but time for the big test turn in. Okay, that's not bad. We're not getting quite as much liftoff oversteer. That's good. That's very good. Okay. Immediately, I can tell you, it's a little bit more planted in the back. Still not perfect. You can easily get this thing all cross-eyed if you're not paying attention. That's what such a powerful vehicle will do to you by its very nature. But it has a little bit less straight line speed because of the drag. But on the whole, it is far, far better in the corners. I like ye a lot. Okay, turn in. Still not great though. It's better, don't get me wrong, but that's also a relatively low bar. I mean, you saw the previous one, it was twitching all over the place. I was trying to slide, it was just having all sorts of issues. This, though, it still has those issues, but instead of being 100%, it's more like 75. So, that's much more manageable. I could just about manage the previous one, but this one just makes it that little bit easier to manage. Which meant the only thing left to do was compare the two of them in a bit of a hot lap session. And yeah, I just reinforced my belief that as great as the top speed on the, well, high-speed variant is, it's not very good in the corners. I don't like how it drives. It's fast. I mean, at this road course variant of IMS, it did a 57 dead, which is no small feat. But it was a very big feat to get it around the course that quickly. It just didn't have the confidence in the vehicle. I didn't feel as secure through the corners. Now compare that to the more handling-focused one with the wing, and yeah, it's a lot nicer to drive. I have a lot more confidence, I have a little bit more grip. Not great, it's still probably a C+, B- as opposed to a C- grade for the previous one. But on the whole, it's undeniably faster. even with equal laps, it was 0.4 of a second faster on the lap 56.64. So it is faster, and it's not like the wing is that much more expensive. It's about 35 grand for the wing. When on a $3.5 million car, that's pretty much nothing. It's pocket change. So, for a tiny fraction of a percent, you can get a very fast, very good-looking, high-end hypercar that can just about make it around a corner. And if you compare that to the other one, it's a very fast high-end hypercar that you want to hold on to dear life for because it's a bit terrifying. But regardless of which variant you get, I really like this car. It's not the fastest, it won't beat any of the true hypercars around a track, but I don't really care. It's just such a good car to drive, it's such a fun car to drive, and, well, it's certainly one hell of a status symbol, and isn't that the most important thing when it comes to a hypercar?